This coverage of the 2017 SHOT Show on the Gun Collective is brought to you by New Frontier Armory and Lehigh Defense. Be sure to check out those links in the description to learn more about those great companies. Guys, it's that time of year again. We're at the Magpul booth. You know, they have had such a significant impact on the firearms industry, and it is the 10-year anniversary, as you just saw, of the PMag. So they've got this really cool display here at the booth, and we're going to kind of walk through. There's a lot of information here, but we're going to touch on the highlights here. Let's check it out. Okay. So in 2007 is actually when this kind of started out, right? So the initial thing, we've got a picture of Drake up there running it over with a truck, proving that it's good, right? So then they actually did early dabble with translucent mags, and then, you know, it started to get adopted, right? People started to care about it. 10,000 mags sold. Within a year, 1 million sold. I mean, that growth is insanity, right? So then we're moving down. You see some early adaptations of color. They never made it, right? But we did see the early colors like I believe it was flat dark earth foliage, black, brown, all those sorts of things. You see here an early quad mag prototype. That's really, really interesting as well. We start seeing early things like the AICS mag and then the Gen M2 starting to be developed. You start seeing these iterations coming through and further development of these magazines, like the E-mag here for all the European guns and the HKs and things of that nature. And then in 2011, one of the E-mags that was used on the Bin Laden raid, right? That is incredible here. I mean, we're seeing U.S. history because of the significance in war over the last 10 years. We've seen that play a huge part here. Magpul has been a huge part of that. So there you have a very, very significant magazine. Yeah, you think, oh, it's just a magazine. That is a significant deal for this company. It's very cool. So then more further developments here. You start seeing 3D printed prototypes of the M3 and things of that nature. That's when the Gen M3 was released in 2011. Then we keep moving and keep moving. More clear prototypes. They're still trying to make that work. That polymer is a very difficult polymer to work with. And we continue on. We see the 40 round PMag. And this one here I think is really interesting. I don't know if you guys remember this, but a few years back, Colorado went full California on us, and they had a magazine ban. Well, Magpul went and showed them, like, listen, guys, what are you doing here? This is all it takes, a piece of plastic to make it high capacity. You're being stupid. That's kind of what they did. Obviously, we know and love the 40 rounder. That's stuck. And then you start seeing developments of the 6.8 mags. Some of you may know that. We also have a 50-round drum mag. That was an early prototype. That kind of developed further. Obviously, you start seeing AK mags coming out, the 10-rounders, the 7.62 mags as we go along. This is a really interesting one here, an early drawing of the drum mag, and that is actually not that far off from what ended up coming to market. Really cool there. Moving on further, you know, like the Glock mags, and then, of course, the 60 round that we know and love, one of the most reliable drum mags out there. I've never seen one better. I actually have 3 of these at home. I like that. Then the AK M3 mag. I believe this is a AK-74 mag. And then, of course, more adaptations of the Glock mags. Continuing on, and the MCT mag, which was just adopted by the United States Marine Corps. Guys, this is such a significant thing in the firearms industry. These guys have continued, and it hasn't just been the PMags, right? We've seen so much development in stocks, in AK furniture, in grips, and all of these different things coming from Magpul. They have been around, and they have been hustling for the last 10 years, and it is absolutely incredible to see what they've done. Let's take a look at some of their other new products, guys. All right, boys and girls, this is a new one that I think a lot of people are really interested in. Obviously, the Ruger 1022 takedown has had a significant impact on the 1022 market. I think we've seen some really interesting developments there. Magpul put out their X22 Hunter stock a few years back, continued on with the takedown version of that, and now we see the Backpacker stock. This is one of the most compact things that you can get for one of these takedowns. I think it's a really interesting product. Let me kind of break it down here. I'm going to set my microphone down and I'll show you guys how it works. and that is where you carry it, right? You throw this under your seat, whatever. The chamber is actually protected. This is kind of a rubber end here. It clips right in. You've got storage on the cheek part of the stock here. Under here, you can fit magazines. You can fit a couple 50-round boxes of 22 ammo. Flipping it back around, they also have an optic mount that goes around the barrel so that it stays zeroed. You don't have to worry about a shift with these 10-22 takedowns. That can happen. They can get loose when you're, taking them apart, putting them back together all the time. So they found a cool solution to kind of fix that, get it right with the barrel where it's not going to move. And they also have, of course, the sweet Tactical Solutions 1022 in here. But I think that's a great product. I think these are going to come out at about $110, so decent value there for a really cool backpacker stock. Let's keep moving. And continuing on, behind me, we've got the new ZHUKOV-U stuff. They've got a bunch of new AK accessories, including an AK-74 magazine, a new grip. They've got a ton of new stuff. Obviously, the significance here this year is 10 years of PMags in the U.S. and all over the world. I think that is one of the most significant things that has happened in the firearms industry. Just a completely revolutionized thing, pushing boundaries all the time. I think Magpul has done some really important things for gun ownership and firearms technology in the last 10 years. And I think that's what we need to take away this year. Obviously, the backpacker is super cool. The new AK stuff is cool. But the thing that stands out to me is the impact that these guys have continued to have year after year. So, of course, guys, be sure to click those links down in the description to check out our SHOT Show sponsors, New Frontier Armory and Lehigh Defense. We love them. They support us. It's fantastic. And as always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon.